Today we'll discuss about the Dynamics SDK. So what's the agenda is like how to create a record in Dynamics using an SDK, how to update a record, and how to retrieve the record from with respect to the GUID record ID. And we can so we will know about the how to retrieve the entity records, and we will get the records using some conditions. And get linked entity record is like suppose we are having two entities. So I want to join two entities to retrieve the data. So in that condition, so we use a linked entity. So fetch XML query is like so in Dynamics. So we use a advanced find. In that you will get the advanced find fetch XML code. So with the help of fetch XML, so we can use the uh, we can we can use that code in our SDK code also. So and we can write a fetch XML with some alias name also value, like suppose I want to give it some name. So query by attribute is like suppose I want to I have less conditions means so I want to get some I want to get with one condition called email. So I want to get like email equal to some email address. So in small conditions, so we use a query by attribute, and query expression is to use we use for heavy means if we have more conditions. So if you have more conditions and we can use the query expression, and in query expression we use a linked entity this entity to get to join the two entities. So we look that also. So and this fetch XML query is like so we do have the pagination also. So we can get like one request I can get 5 records, and later I need to get 2 records. So we can use a pagination for fetch XML. So suppose I want to delete a record. Suppose I want to delete a record in Dynamics using an SDK. So we can use the deleting a record. We have the option to delete also. So this one is like in fetch XML also you can join two entities. So we will look about this complete things. So let's open this code. So I have some code. I created some library. So here first we will see the references. So I created a project with it's a console application with .NET framework. So here let me go for manage NuGet packages. In this, you can see you need to install Microsoft.crm SDK.core assemblies, and you need to install Microsoft.crm SDK.deployment. And we can you need to install the Microsoft CRM.xrm.tooling.core assembly, and we need to install the identity model client.active directory. So these are the versions we need to install. So you can check this code so for more detail. So it's not a mandatory, but if you are using Azure authentication, so you can use. So these are the reference we can add, and we can after adding, so you can find that core assembly. Suppose I want to add a reference. The core assembly file. So if you want to add some, we need to add these references xrm.sdk and tooling.connectors. So if you download this core assembly, so you will find like let's show you the code. So in this folder you can find in Dynamics yeah, in this you can go for Dynamics CRUD and go for a bin. Yeah, you can see this complete DLLs. So if you want to add a new project or if you want to create a new console application, you need to include this SDK and tooling connector, and this one also you need to add it, and you need to add this proxy also. So you need to use these 4 DLLs for to connect the CRM. So let's and we are and we can go for a properties. Yeah. So we will go here, project and dynamic thread properties. So in this you need to use a framework of 4.6.1. So we need to use a 4.6.1 to work to use this code. So suppose if I run the code, if I use a lesser version, so it won't accept it. Yeah, we get 2 warnings, but we can ignore. But we didn't get any errors till now. Let's see. Okay, we got this errors right. This is for so we are using a custom workflow. So in this I am not so we can ignore this this one right now. So these are the errors we are getting from the project called custom workflow and plugin development. So right now we are not using this one. So you can use only this dynamic CRUD for an SDK related thing. So let's see the code, and we go in a dynamic CRUD. So we go for an app config. So in this you need to add this connection string with a dynamics URL, and we need to include the username of dynamics, and we need to include the password. And let's see the code. So in this first I'm writing the this security portal to if anything blocking from TLS connection. So here we are calling the app config connection string, and we are connecting CRM using a CRM service client. So we need to pass this connection string to CRM service client, and after that we need to connect the iOrganization service to create a records. So after doing this, and we need to go for now we will discuss about the creating a record in Dynamics. So we are writing a iOrganization service and CRM service. When we are calling this method, so we need to pass the service CRM service to create a record here. So that's why we are using the CRM service or organization service. It's used to create a records or to update a records, to retrieve the records. We use a iOrganize service. So in this, suppose I want to create a record with suppose I have a lookup field like we have the account lookup which is there in policy. So if I want to bind the if I want to create a record with some GUID or any record any lookup, if you want to map the GUID record, so you need to go like this: GUID account new entity, and you can define the account ID. And if you want to and we have other option also to map. Suppose I am mapping which is a parent, which is a child record, which we need to map the suppose I have account and contact. So I want to map account lookup is there in contact record. So if I want to create a, if I want to map the content record using lookup, so we can do by other ways also, like so when we are writing here, so you can over it, so it will ask like so we can add, we need to add the GID. First give the lookup name, which is a account ID, and we need to give the GID. So if you have any child record which is in the parent, or any parent record which is in the child, so you can map like this. Okay. Okay. Let's yeah, we need to give like this to map the record. So this is like suppose I want to create an entity with a suppose I have a table called sk underscore all data type. So in that case we need to we are creating a record in some for example so I am creating a record in account entity. So here we need to declare like entity, we need to give some name, and we need to initialize this entity, and we need to give the entity name to create a record. After that, if you want to map the string value, so you can like you can write the logical name of record you can write a field logical name, and you need to write the some, if you want to map any string value, so you need to map like this. Suppose you need to map the lookup, so in that case you need to map like new entity reference of account ID. Suppose you want to map a single line of text which is a field type, so in that case we need to write map like this. So we have a two options, it's also like true or false in that case. So we need to use this one, true or false. We need to give true or false boolean values. And here in field type, if you want to map the date field, you can map like this, and we can give the field logical name, and you need to change the date and time. For now I am writing date and time dot now. So if you want to convert to a date and time, so you can convert also. So this is the this field is for the multi option set. So we have a field called multi option set, like a in our drop down in .NET we will have the drop down, right? So in drop down we can select multiple drop down, multiple values. So in like this in CRM also we have a multi select option set. In that case we need to write option set value collection, and we need to write some name, and you need to add the option set values. So we will have some option set values like 2 or 3 or 4 for a option sets. So you need to define the value, not a label. Okay. So and and if you want to map a single option set, it's a multi option set, so we have a single option set also. In that case you need to map the like we need to give the field logical name, and we need to give the new option set value of, we need to give the value of the option set. Suppose you want to map the number, so you can use like this. Suppose you want to map the decimal value, like in some cases we need to map the money field. So in that case you need to write like this, new of money of convert to decimal, and you need to give some amount. So if you want to map any integer, money or integer, not a money field. So for money we need to write this one, and here for integer we need to map like this. For a float we need to map with a similar to this. And if you want to map the multi-select text, so in some dynamics we have the multi-select text also. It's like a text area. In .NET we will have a text area, right? So in that case, here we call the multi-select text. So we can write directly any text, and after that, so we need to write with a GUID and some name, and we need to call the CRM service from here dot create, and we need to define this complete object which we are defining. So it will create a record. So next we will see about the updating a record. In updating a record, so here we need to give the logical name like this, and we need to give some ID. So for any update record, so you need to give some specific ID, so it will update the record. So you need to define like this, and you need to give you need to give entity name, like suppose I'm updating an account record. So we need to give like account. In this we need to pass the GUID of ID. So and here we need to pass, like we need to give some we need to give the values which we need to update, same like create method. And we need to write like we need to call the CRM service, and we need to write like dot update, or we need to give these names. Okay. And suppose I want to retrieve a record by ID. Suppose I have one GUID, so I want to retrieve one record. So in that scenario, so you need to write like entity, you need to give some name. So we need to call the service IRMS service dot retrieve, and here we need to give the logical name, like suppose I am retrieving a account record. Yeah, or you can over on this, so you can know the what are the parameters we need to pass. And second is the GID, which record you need to specify. This new column set true is like so if you want to get all fields in Dynamics, so you can write with new column set true, or we can write like other option also, like suppose we have other option like this, so you can define like this also. If you want to add a specific columns, like you can define like this also. So it will get the first name and last name from Dynamics. So, and third one is like suppose you want to retrieve the records by ID. It's also same, but we will see how to retrieve the record. Like here we are writing a ID, right? So here just I wrote a condition. Means I wrote a method for common method. So here I'm writing a global, like suppose I'm calling this method, and I'm calling the service from here, and I'm giving the entity record, and I'm giving the GUID. So it will pass. It's a internal function which I'm calling here. This method I'm calling here, and I'm getting the fields like this. So this condition is like suppose sometimes you will get the empty values. So in that case, you need to check the condition if the name contains or not. So in that condition, suppose name, sometimes you will get a sometimes name field will not be there. After some days, any new developer or any new person, if they delete the field, so we don't know. So in that case, we need if you write this, so we can know if it's not contain the name field, so it won't go inside. So we need to write like this to define the values. Suppose I want to get the record values with some conditions. Here we have some conditions, like suppose I want to get the last name equal to Fry. So we can write the condition similar like this, or we can write a equal, or we can write some. There are so many begin with or contains. We use a between and use a contains, and we can use the end with functions. Like suppose I want to retrieve a record like end with, it's same like a like conditions. We use SQL, right? So in SQL we will write like greater than or equal to, greater than equal to, or in parameters. So same like that. And last I want to retrieve the records from last X days. So in that situation, so we need to write these methods to based on our needs. So for now I will keep a equal. So this filter condition, like, so we need to add these conditions in filters, so it will filter the specific records. So later, and we need to give the query expression, like I said, right? Query expressions is like a select query in SQL. So we use a query expression for to retrieve the records from Dynamics. So we need to write the query expression, and we need to give some name, and we need to give the entity name here, and we can write the conditions, like suppose I want to retrieve first name and last name. So later I need to add that filter one. So I wrote the condition, right? So that conditions we need to add here by query.criteria.add filter, and we need to add this filter in this condition. And we can fetch this complete data using a entity collection. So it will retrieve from a entity collection data. So so we need to write an entity collection, and we need to write some name, and we need to retrieve the multiple records, right? So we need to call this iOrbination service, and dot we need to write the retrieve multiple, and we need to pass this query here, so it will retrieve the records. So suppose if the records having, if I am checking the count also, suppose if the record sometimes you won't get the records, like some records will be less than 0, or no records. So in that case you need to check the condition. If you have more than 0, like you need to write this result dot entities dot count dot greater than 0. So it will check the condition. If you have more than 0, so it will retrieve the records. So later we need to give the we are writing for loop. Why means we are getting multiple fields, right? So we are writing for loop, and we are writing this result one dot. We need to write dot entities, so it will retrieve the records. So in this case, we need to write like we need to check if the field exists or not. Later we need to write the to get the values. You can write like item dot attributes dot. We need to give the logical name, which field you need to want. So if you needed to get the lookup value, so in that case you need to write the entity reference of item dot attribute, and lookup logical name dot. If you are in lookup, we will have the name and ID. So if you want to get the ID, you can write like ID. Or if you want to get the name, you can write the name also. So next, if you want to get the option set, so you can write like item dot first I'm checking the condition, and I'm writing the if I want to get the option set value, like suppose I want to get the text value, so we can write like formatted values. If you want to get the value of option set, you can write like this, option set value of value. Like in option set we will have two options, one is text and second is the value. So in that case we need to, if you want to get the text, you need to write like this. If you want to get the value, you need to write like this. So next is like a date field. So if you want to get the date field, you need to write the date and time, and you can get the uh, date field like this. And if you want to get the currency field, you need to write like money data type, and you need to write the condition like item dot attribute of logical name dot value. And next, if you want to get the two option set, like it boolean true or false, so in that case you need to write like item dot formatted value dot logical name. And we need to write like if you want here also we have same like option set, label and value. So if you want to get the label, you need to write like this. If you want to get the value, you can write like this. Boolean means you want to get the true or false. Okay. So this is retrieve query expression which we use with some conditions. Suppose I want to join two tables in a query expression. So in that case, what we will do means we will write a query expression of query, and a new query expression. We need to give the first table logical name, and we need to write some conditions like query dot column set is equal to new column set, and we need to give the column names like suppose I want to retrieve the first name and last name. So you can write like first name and last name. And next we need to write the linked entity of second table. We need to map the second table, right? So in that case we need to write linked entity of entity p, new linked entity. Here we need to give the first table name, and next we need to give the second table name, and fourth and third one is the we need to give the first table lookup value, means first table primary key and second table primary key, and later we need to give the join operators. So here we can write we have different types of joins based on your needs. So you can write like left after join or inner, or you can write in or exist like this. We can write based on our needs. So for now we will use a inner. So next we need to give the field names in a second table. So we need to call the entity b dot columns. We need to give the second table columns. And if you want to give any alias name also, we can give. So for a second table in our SQL, we will write a joins, right? Like with some name, uh, with some name, alias name. So in that case, we can give the name also. And we need to write like a query, this one dot linked entity dot. We need to add this entity b to linked entity. Means we need to join this linked entity to query expression using this one. So next thing is like suppose I want to join other table, like I have three tables. So this is the third table. Same in third table also same. Like we need to give the uh, we need to give the entity name, first entity name, and we need to give the uh, third entity name, and we need to give the logical names for means primary names for first table and third table, and we can join here. And later we need to give the columns in a third table, and we can write some name for third table, and we need to add this table c to first table to query expression using this condition. So and if you have any conditions like suppose I want to get the this records based on the status code equal to status equal to 1. So in that condition we can write the conditions like this: query dot criteria dot condition dot add new of condition expression status condition dot equal to 1. And suppose I want to add multiple conditions, so you can add like this. You can paste, copy and paste, and you can write like this to add the multiple conditions. So later we need to write like service dot retrieve multiple, and we need to parse this query here. So later we need to write a for loop with some name, and we need to retrieve the records log from result dot entities. In this we can call like suppose I want to get the entity 1. So you can write like entity dot contains that column 1 and entity of column 1. Suppose I want to get the second table data. So in that case you need to write like entity of entity b. Entity b, why I gave it means in entity in second table we will give a alias name, right? So we need to define the alias name dot column 1 as alias value dot value. We need to give like this. If you want to call the third table, you can give the same like entity b. Okay. So this fetch expression, next we will go for a fetch expression. So This fetch expression is like it's same like SQL queries. So, but we use it. Why we use fetch XML queries means in Dynamics. We suppose I want to call some let's okay. Suppose I want to I want to fetch the record from advanced find in Dynamics. Like let's see once. Yeah, let's go for admin center and go for yeah, you go for office.com and we go for Dynamics. So go for Dynamics 365 custom or any app which you are using. So you can go for advanced settings or we can go for advanced find this icon. Yeah, and we need to select any record. Suppose I'm selecting account. So if you click on download fetch XML, just click on this and it will download one file in your system. So open this. Let's open this record. So let's yeah. So the fetch XML code is look like this. So we use the same code here also. So we can change the we can change some fields or we can add some fields also. Like suppose I want to add some extra field called email address. So you need to give the logical. We can add like suppose I want to add an extra field, so you can add like this, and we can retrieve that record using it. Next, we need to write the entity collection, and we need to go for accounts. We need to give some name, and we need to give the service organization and dot retrieve multiple, and we need to write like a new fetch expression, and we need to give this complete query in this parameter. And later we need to give the for each loop, and we can call the attributes using this same like query expression. And next we need to discuss with an alias name. In fetch XML also we can give the names for a fields. Suppose I want to get some so this is called like aggregated. Like suppose I want a uh, count of some records. Like I want to get the account records with some how many records we created. Like suppose I want to get the count for records. So how many records we created in Dynamics. So I will write like fetch distinct false, and you need to write like mapping is equal to logical, and we need to write like aggregate is equal to true, and we need to give the entity name here, and we will define the attribute name equal to some logical name of the field, and we need to give some alias name, and we need to give the aggregate is equal to average. Like here we have like we can write average, and we have some like some we can write a sum also, or we can write some fields. So maximum we will write the average. So after that we need to use like entity collection, and we need to write the some name, and we can retrieve like service dot retrieve multiple, and we can write new fetch expression, and we need to pass this parameter in this method, and we need to write for each loop, and we can get that estimated value using this so it's a value with a money field. So I'm using the money of alias value of C of estimated average. I means I wrote like this, right? That's why I'm using alias value and some name, and query by attribute. So query by attribute is like to get for to retrieve a simple records. Like suppose I don't have any conditions. Like I have only two conditions in a query. In that case, so I can write like query by attribute, query by expression equal to new query by attribute. We need to give the logical name, and query expression dot we need to give the column set equal to new column set, and you need to give the field names. Here what this is, it's like a range. Like suppose I want to write one condition, like suppose I want to write where name equal to Peter. So in that case you need to write like this. So instead of using query expression, we can directly use query by attribute for a simple queries. So query expression using a pagination. So we can use a pagination also. In this we can write like we need to give the query count and which page number it is, and how many records you needed. So in this you need to write like same like query expression. You need to write the condition expression, and you need to write some conditions if you need it. And you can write the order expression, like order expression also. Like in SQL we use an order by name, order by date, right? So it's same like that. You can write order by name, and we can write ascending or descending here. And we need to write the query expression, and we can define entity name, and we can add the conditions. So we wrote a conditions, right? So we need to add these conditions using criteria dot add condition, and we need to add the order also. Page query dot order dot add of, we need to write the order, and we can use it. This one is for the pagination. So we use a page info to use the pagination. Page query dot page info is equal to new page information, page info, page query dot page info dot. We need to specify the count, how many records we needed totally. So we use a dot count is equal to query count. We use a query count with 13, 3 number of records per record per page. Suppose we have more records. In one page I want to retrieve the only 3 records. In that case we use a query count. Per page we can write it. So after that we need to write the page number. In page number we need to give the number from which page we need to initialize. So I'm defining 1. So next we need to give the cookie. It will store some. We use paging cookie to store some first page values. Means in first, suppose I want to store the means we need to know after, means if you have 2 pages, so we need to have a page cookie. So it will use it. So I will show you in code, so you can do. So after getting so we need to write a while loop. So in that we need to write the entity collection, and we are retrieving the query expression code. We wrote a query expression, right? So we need to give that name, and I'm checking like if the results dot entity is not equal to null, so I'm getting the fields. So you need to write the record count, so we can know that how many records it's retrieving per request. So later, so if you have more than 3 records, so we can write like this. So results dot more records. If you have more than 3 records, so those records will add. So we can get that records from this pagination. Like we need to write the page query dot page info dot page number. So it will give the page number. If it's a second page, it will show the second page number. And we need to increment that page number, and we need to use the paging cookie, page information dot paging cookie. We need to assign the paging cookie. So it will return the paging cookie to the paging cookie return from current results. So based on cookie, so it will return the current results. So if there is no record, so we can break that one. So this XML and this one we use for fetch XML pagination. So I will show you. Suppose we can use a pagination fetch XML query also, similar to query expression. So we can use same parameters. Here we can define the fetch XML code, and if we want to retrieve the record based on account ID also, you can give it like or we can leave it also, like but we need to format like some parameter, like I want to retrieve this fetch XML, and we need to give some specific account ID. Why I'm giving account ID means, so here I'm writing parent account ID, right? In this parent account ID, I want to specify this account ID. So instead of writing here, so I'm writing here by giving a parameter here, and I'm passing this parameter here. So I'm writing the account records, and I'm writing a create XML, and fetch XML is like so we need to pass this parameter, and we need to pass the paging cookie, and we need to pass the page number fetch count. So if you go to create XML, so in that so I need to I'm using some XML code to read the XML code. So I'm using a string reader to read the XML, and I'm using a to we using XML text reader to read this string using from string to XML, and we are loading that XML document, and we are writing this XML. We are passing the XML code, and we are creating some code like to convert to XML. So after using this, and we have other parameter also, like other method for to use for XML, like we use an XML document, and we need to pass this document, and we need to pass the cookie, and we need to pass the page, and we need to pass the count. And here we use some XML related thing, so we can you can check this code. I mean, this code I got it from some other resource. But this code is to use for XML. So to convert to XML. Uh, so after creating an XML, so this XML code, you need to use that XML code in here. So first we need to execute retrieve multiple request. In fetch XML, you need to use the retrieve multiple request, and we need to give the uh, some name, and we need to initialize the query with fetch expression, and later we need to pass the we are passing the this fetch XML request here to get the complete XML details. So after retrieving the XML details, so you need to write the for loop, and you need to return the specific values. So here you can get the queries. So if you have more records, suppose I have more records more than one or more than three, so in that case you can get that records from this so you can write this one, so it will return the more records. So to delete a record, suppose I want to delete a record, so in that case I will use I will use a query expression to retrieve the some account ID. So I want to delete. Before deleting, we can use a query expression, or we can directly give the ID also. Suppose we have two conditions. One is like, suppose I want to get some specific ID, some specific account ID. So in that case, you will write a query expression, and you will get the ID, and you will delete. In second condition, you can directly keep the entity name here, and you can give the GUID here. So it will delete record. So this fetch XML expression, next we will go for fetch XML fetch XML expression link. Means it's like a, suppose I am using a two tables like account and contact. So in that case, so we use the XML. We use the XML code similar like this. Why means so here it's so I'm writing the conditions like this fetch expression, and we am writing the account entity. In this I am writing the attribute names, and if you have any conditions, you can use like this, and filter type is equal to n, or we can write an r condition also. And this linked entity is like, suppose we are joining two tables, so we use a linked entity to join two tables. So contact is the second table. So in contact table, so we can write the attribute names. Suppose I want to write the conditions, I can write like, I can give like this also, like if I want to give any conditions on second entity also. So you can try this code and you can check with some scenarios which you work in your projects. So after that you need to write a new fetch expression and you need to pass the fetch XML, and later you need to write the entity collection to retrieve the records. So in this one you can write like suppose I want to get the second table records. So in that case you need to write the alias value. So with the respect of alias value, so you can get the values. So next we will go for so okay, you can leave this one. So this method is not useful. So you can remove this. So it's not useful. Okay. Yeah, this is the SDK related thing. So which if you want any doubts, if you have any doubts, you can contact me directly, and we will end this session now. Yeah, thank you.